Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome back to the model railway news for December. And that means that this is the final news video of the year. And so I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for turning up to watch these videos month on month. I really love making them, and the fact that you love to watch them too means an awful lot. So thank you to you and long may it continue. Right, let's crack on with the news. It's been a massive month for Rapido Trains because of all the announcements they made at Worley. And some of these announcements are, in my opinion, some of the biggest and most impressive projects Rapido have ever announced here in the UK. The first one is a brand new Great Western locomotive, one we have seen before in this industry, but not new tooled in quite a long time. So it is the Great Western Small Prairie. They're going to be doing the 4500 series, which of course we've seen before from Bachmann, but they've also announced that they're going to be producing the 44 series, which has never been seen before in model form. Now, looking at the posts made by Rapido, it seems to me that these models are in the very early stages. They haven't announced liveries yet, the prices are not available, there are no CADs on display either. And in my opinion, this is quite a brave move in this day and age because of the tendency for other manufacturers to, pinch ideas, duplicate models on the market, and it just makes you wonder whether maybe Bachmann are going to come along and try to defend their Small Prairie. Are they going to retool theirs or update it? I don't know. I think Rapido have left a lot of time for that sort of thing to happen. So hopefully it won't. Hopefully the other manufacturers will invest their resources into a model that's not already being done, but I guess that is a risk Rapido have taken. Obviously, very little to learn about the model as of yet, but I will be keeping an eye out for more information, so tune into the news again and we'll see what we learn. Another new loco Rapido have announced is the LNER Class Y7 or the NER H Class. Now this is a small 040 tank engine which just looks fantastic in my opinion, from the late 1800s, and it was designed for work at dock yards, hence the very small wheelbase on these locos. Makes them perfect for tight curves of course. Now this project, again looking at what Rapido have provided, still seems to be in the early stages, but I would say it's more developed, if anything, than the Prairie, because we do have some excellent looking CADs on display, as well as some that look like samples. I really had to look closely at these. I'm pretty sure these are not samples and they're just pretty convincing CGI, computer generated CADs, but they do look fantastic with the colour, and of course they do an extremely good job of showing us what the NER livery looks like. And what does it look like? Absolutely fantastic. That colour is just gorgeous, isn't it? So that is definitely a project to look out for. Hopefully those models will be as amazing as those renders make them look. Still no price on the Y7, but the liveries have been announced. You've got the NER Saxony Green, which I think is the one we saw rendered in colour. There's the NER, LNER and BR Black as well. So a good number of different liveries available, quite a bit of choice. I'm just so excited to see this sort of model announced because they're always the best. Think about it. The P-Class, the Hornby H-Class, all of these industrial early pre-grouping tank engines, whatever, they always turn out amazing, don't they? So looking forward to that. Okay, Rapido have also announced some new coaches. They're the GWR B-set coaches, which in real life were introduced between 1924 and 1930. And this project seems to be the furthest along of any of Rapido's new announcements, to the point where we even have a price for them. So the RRP is going to be £169.95 for a pack of 2, and at the retailers those 2 packs are going to be available for £144.45. So that's over £70 at the very least per coach. Okay, very expensive then. So how do Rapido plan to justify that price? Well, take a look. They've got fully detailed bodywork, as you'd expect. They say these are based on drawings, which is a good sign. They also have full internal detail to an extent that we haven't really seen before on coaches. Look at these images. You've got the full interior detail of the guards compartment. Apparently they all have capacitor smoothed lighting, so all of that detail will be illuminated. They've got extensive underframe detail apparently, and some prototypical bar couplings, which sound quite interesting. They've announced a good number of liveries too, including Great Western shirt button, a very lovely Great Western wartime livery, a BR Crimson, BR Maroon, a wartime brown. We're getting some unusual things here from Rapido. That one really caught my eye. Wartime brown coaches, fantastic. You've got the traditional chocolate and cream, of course, as well as quite a lot more. These models are now available to pre-order, which is awesome, and I'll pop some affiliate links in the description for you. Up next then, Accurascale have made yet another massive announcement, and I think it's one that quite a few people are going to be excited about. So it's an all-new Class 50 for 00 scale. And this completes Accurascale's trio of English electric locomotives following the Deltics and the Class 37s. They say that this project has taken them 3 years to get to the stage that it's at now, and the model is based on a 3D scan taken from a real Class 50, number 50017. Accurascale's suite of Class 50s is going to include all of the necessary variations in order for them to produce every model of the Class 50, which is quite amazing. And these variations include those with missing handrails, those with different head codes and lights, those with and without wind deflectors, different windows, etc., etc. They say that the tooling is close to completion, which is a good sign. It means the project is far along. It's not going to be too long until these are delivered, and that reduces the chances of another manufacturer coming along and announcing a competing Class 50, unless of course they're already working on one, which is less nefarious, isn't it? Anyway, the models are going to include a die-cast metal chassis, as you'd expect, the usual array of separately fitted, etched or plastic parts, including nameplates where appropriate. That sounds quality. They've got exchangeable printed head codes, which sounds like a good feature. Optional snowplows, always love to see those. Full underframe detail, sprung buffers, kinetic couplings, which sounds interesting. Not kinematic, but kinetic. Could be the same thing, I'm not sure. Sounds good though. A separately powered fan with a controllable speed setting. Now, if that doesn't tell you what sort of model this is going to be, I don't know what does, but that sounds like an incredible feature. A 5-pole motor with dual flywheels, a metal gearbox. Does that mean the gears and everything are metal? That just sounds tremendous. With gearing to allow the models to reach the scale speed of 125 miles per hour, which was the real-life top speed, so it's good that they've thought about that. And they've got all-wheel drive and all-wheel pickup. So, an awful lot of features on this new Loco. So the obvious question is it going to cost an awful lot of money? Well, yes, these models are quite expensive, but not to the extent that you might expect, given the list of features I've just read out. So well done, Accurascale. Look at this, £189.99 DCC ready, £299.99 for sound fitted, with delivery slated for 2023. I am very excited. Accurascale have packed in a lot of features at this sort of price point, which is rather impressive. I think you'll agree. Again, schools the other manufacturers, shows what is possible at these prices. Fantastic work. Pre-orders are open for these models now. If you want to check the description, I've got some affiliate links. So that's what Accurascale have got planned for the future. What's happening right now? Well, the Class 92s are apparently here in the country. At the moment, it seems like they're being sorted and checked, hopefully with delivery to occur pretty soon. So if you've got one of those pre-ordered, hopefully you don't have long to wait now. Right, Accurascale have made yet another announcement. So you'll probably remember their children wagons from the Powering Britain range. Well, Accurascale have just made another new announcement which adds another type of wagon to that range. This time it is the NER 20-ton coal hopper wagon. And this is going to include the whole family of these 4-wheel hoppers, including the P6 variant, the P7 variant, the P8 variant, and the Q3 variant. These are just coal hoppers, and just listen to what Accurascale have got planned for them. So the variants that I've listed range from 15 tonne to 20 tonne and 23 tonne, and across these variations are a huge number of detail differences, which it sounds as though Accurascale will be covering. These include different side chains, different anti-friction gears, some with, some without, different brake arrangements, different handbrakes, different axle boxes, and much, much more. This is another serious Accurascale project. As you can see, they already have some early samples on display, which again suggests that this project is decently far along. And these photos clearly show a die-cast chassis, which gives an indication as to what the quality will be like. They also show the extensive underframe detail and all of the different variations I've just described, as well as a lot more. The suite is going to cover 3 different body designs, as well as sprung buffers and authentic liveries. At the moment, 8 packs of these wagons have been announced, and as usual with Accurascale wagons, these are going to be packs of 3. And the price for these is £84.95 per pack, which makes each wagon just over £28 each. So that is up there with Bachmann and Rapido's wagon pricings, but again, it doesn't seem too bad when you consider the amount of research, the amount of design, the number of toolings involved in this project. So yes, very, very expensive, but already it's clear that that price is reflected in the product. So absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to see those come out. Accurascale NER 20-ton coal hoppers. Speaking of hoppers, Dapol have just announced a new version of their very awesome JHA hopper. Remember, the previous JHA hoppers from Dapol were absolutely amazing. They were hugely heavy, incredibly detailed, and some of them even featured lights. Well, now Dapol say they are getting ready to produce the Powell-Dufferin versions of these hoppers, which were seen in the early 1990s. And apparently these variations of the hoppers featured different interiors and exteriors, buffer beams, that sort of thing, and yet Dapol's model is about the same price as before, so between £46.75 and £51. It does seem a lot for a hopper, but if you haven't seen the video, check it out. It will become clear why they are relatively expensive. And if you're interested in these, I'll pop some links down in the description for you. Also, very exciting news from Dapol. Their brand new Class 59 locomotives, which have been announced for absolutely forever, are finally in stock. Mine's gone into my Hatton's trunk, I believe, so I'll be reviewing that pretty soon. Now, I caught a glimpse of one of these at the Dapol stand at Worley, and it really looked fantastic. It's got all of the modern details, including the rotating axle boxes. Fantastic, fantastic feature. Let's wait and see what those are like. If you'd like to see the review, comment down below, let me know. I'll fast track that in the new year. Well done, Dapol. Great to see them doing so well. The next update comes from Hatton's, who have taken delivery of the latest batch of Genesis coaches a little bit earlier than they were expecting. So that means that the SECR, the L&WR and the LMS examples are now available/delivered. So if you're interested in the latest Genesis coaches, do check out the affiliate links in the description. My question is, now that the coaches are out, would you like to see me do a proper review at last? Not of a sample, not of an early prototype, but of the final product. If so, please comment down below and let me know, and I'll get on to that. Finally then, let's talk a little bit about Hornby, who have announced a new big boy model through their Riverossi name. Now I say new, that's probably a little bit misleading. I don't think it's a new tooled model, but it's certainly a new version of the model, which caters for 4014 in its current condition under preservation. Now, when you consider how large this locomotive is, the retailer price of around £318 to me doesn't seem too bad. It seems pretty competitive actually when you consider, let's say, what the Broadway big boy costs. Now, is this going to be a competitor of the Broadway one? Well, probably not. It's not going to be of the same quality, I would assume, but still, for any sort of big boy with a decent level of detail, which looking at the photos this one does appear to have, I don't think that sounds too bad given how Hornby's other models are priced these days. So, I don't know, that might mean that I'm able to try a big boy. Would you like to see that? Please let me know. And I will pop some affiliate links in the description if you're interested. As for Hornby's UK range under the actual Hornby name, as you've probably already seen, Hornby announced a range of Hornby Dublo models to celebrate the Flying Scotsman's centenary. At £362.99 though, for me, these are unjustifiably expensive. Yes, as Hornby Dublo models, they are die-cast, but Lots of other Hornby models have a good degree of die-cast on them, such as the new 9F, for example, and that wasn't nearly £400. So I wasn't really going to pay much attention to those Hornby 00 models, but I am doing, because there's a new feature on these 00 models, which apparently is going to be carried forward into all of Hornby's steam locos, as I understand it, and that means it's worth talking about. So this new feature is, at long last, a new Loco to tender drawbar connection. Now this diagram shows a connector that reminds me of the Dapol one that we've been seeing. Apparently this features a PCB connector, which hopefully means we'll be able to push together and pull apart these tenders as easily as we can on the Dapol models, which is absolutely awesome. That would really make life so much easier with Hornby locos, because at the moment they are still using that primitive screwed connection with a separate plug, which does work great. It's very reliable, strong, but it's inconvenient at best. So the fact that that seems to be changing now from Hornby is great. It's something that we've been calling for a long time. Well, that will just about do it for today's news video. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and also thank you so much for tuning into all of this year's Model Railway news videos. Like I say, I love making them, and the fact that you guys keep tuning in does mean a lot. So bless you for that. Have an amazing Christmas. We will be back with more news in the new year. Can't wait to see what happens next. I'll be honest, there's so much stuff cracking off in this hobby. It's just a really exciting time for all of it, isn't it? So thank you again for watching. If I've missed anything out that you think deserves a mention, as always, comment down below and I'll look at that for next time. For now though, thanks again for watching. I'll catch you soon. Cheers everybody.